Alrighty then, welcome back everybody. So, as you can see, it is an empty screen because I need to move this to the other side. Don't worry about it. So as you can see, this is a very speed up drawing, but just give me a second here. Let me just grab it to around. There we go. It's missing some keyframe parts, but don't worry about it. So yeah, today I'm gonna be working on getting this kind of idea running, but not with this, of course, but with this instead. So what I'm gonna be aiming to do here is trying to see if I can actually load up the image that I have. So I have the image right here. See if I can make it into a PNG so that we can actually save the keyframes that we have right here in the animation part. All right. No further ado, let's get started and see how well we do. So, the first thing I want to do here is that, of course, canceling out the onion rings, actually, because I don't need to see them. But they are always present, which is lovely. Why is this not happening? Why do I need to press this button multiple times to see? This doesn't do anything. So I have the onion layer here. yeah, that's how to cancel it out. All right, so I have this drawing right here. I want to save this keyframe, so let me see if I can now save it as a PNG file because, well, a web PNG file both will work. I just want to have the keyframe, and I will say this is 21 or 1. Let's put this on 1 and see how this goes. So we have this, we have that, we have the PNG file, embedded RGB, transparent, metadata. Yes. All right, so now if I open this, I should be able to get to where I want to be with this. So let me just go to the animation part. Keyframe, and there it is. That's the animation part, and did we save the right one? Yes, all right, it works how I intended it to be using. So today we're gonna be, well, we're gonna be creating it, and then we're gonna be reusing it into this one. So hold up. Yeah, come on. Move, you little asshole. There you go. So what we're going to be doing here is going to be, we're opening this one in the, this one, right? There we go. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be using this as the image that we're going to be aiming for. So we're going to be aiming to keep the drawing here, but we're going to be using the keyframes to create a drawing. And then we're going to be making the GIF by loading it up in this one with keyframes right there underneath, which we're going to be adding in. All right, no further ado, let's get started and see how this goes. So we don't need this yet. We're just going to be getting, I made this one for the test file to see if it works. And now we need to figure out how we're going to be doing this. So what we need to do here is pretty much a lot. Not gonna lie, there is a lot of layers here, but we're not gonna be using them. We're gonna be creating a new one. So we're gonna create a new drawing. And on this one, we don't need the keyframes. We don't need it. But what we need is definitely the back. Yes. So I need to make sure that I have open the web PNG because that's clearly the one that I want to aim for here. So let's remove the eye. We don't need that. Let's remove this one. I'll need that, but we need to have the web PNG because we're going to be drawing over this and we're going to be creating the, well, we're going to be creating the black and white version of this all. So we have a paint layer and we're going to be making sure that we have this on, we're going to make a keyframe here. So now we have a keyframe on the paint layer. So now we have a keyframe on the paint layer, which means now the keyframe layer works. So let's go and draw what we need to draw here. Oh boy. Oh, this is gonna be such a pain to do, right? Yeah. Probably. I need to move this downwards, like here. Can I not? I could technically go for the black and white version and then move on with that. Yes, I could, but let's just get it on with. So we have this as one bit of the character. So we need to do some lots of work, but we definitely need to do that. So that's the first bit. All right, we're just gonna be keeping it with this now. So we have the drawing. So we have the face itself. Then we're gonna create a new one. I'm gonna be putting this into another keyframe, so we need to put this as well into a keyframe. So activate the keyframe here. Now we need to have here keyframes. So those things have keyframes, those things have keyframes. So now we have 2 keyframes. All right, good. Why is this not happening? Oh, because I copied it. Yes. Well, but this one I don't need to copy it. I want to see if I can get this one. Then those bits of the eye. So that's the first bit. Now we're going to go to the next bit. All right, we need to have the onion layers online so that we can actually see what we have. So now we can actually see the onion layers itself. And we're going to be making sure that we have this on the side. So now you can see that we're actually doing a pretty, well, it's going to be not a very good drawing, not a very good GIF, but hey, no, it's a pretty nice thing to see. Onion layers, I actually want 3 in front and 3 in the back. That's the best one to go for. Can I also put it in here as well? Yeah, I can. Alright, good. So, with that said, I have now this. So I have this one, and now I need to go here. So what I can do now is gonna be going like so with that. So now we can actually play them off. So now we can actually see that yes, it is 1999, but it should be now. Let's put this on. Well, let's go first for the first 30 because we clearly want to go for 30 first, and we're gonna go for 30 frames per second. Not 24. That's terrible. All right, so let's go for 30. So now we have this. So now we can actually say that that is actually a thing that I can do. Now, with that said, I can now move to the next one. So we're gonna go from here, and now we're gonna create a new one. So this is really. Ah, I did it on the wrong layer, didn't I? Oh. There you go. Wait, onion skins, previous red, blue is different. Like so. So I am now working on this one. Now we can actually see, yes, yes, yes. All right, so now we have that one. Now you can get this one there. This is the best part about experimentation. You know, you try to do something and then see how it goes. So you can see that it actually works. That's pretty good. It's getting there where I wanted to be with this. So we have the eyes squinching. Now I need to get these ones need to be copied. So I need to move this one cut, and I need to have this around here. And then paste. Then I'll need to have this one cut and around here. Paste. Then I need to have this one cut and around here. Paste. Why? Because I need to have this one copied twice in here. Then copy this one twice in here as well. And copy it and paste it there. And then copy it and then paste it here. Because now I actually have 2 frames of it. See? It is working as intended. Which is nice. Now we can actually see that, that the face is actually, squinching a little bit. So yeah, we now have that. Of course, it's not great, but it is something, and it's getting there. It's getting there. So now we have that, and then of course, now we have that one there. Now we're gonna be going here, and we're gonna be creating a new one. Now we're gonna keep it on with that one. But of course, we're gonna make sure that we keep, the eyes. All right, now we have that. Copy it, paste it. Now we need to go here, make a new one. So we now have that, we have that. What do we now need? Because we now have actually, technically we have the animation, because we now have, you know, squinching real hard. Which is the whole point. Then, I think we need to hold this for one more frame. I think, because if we hold it for one more frame, we actually have, you know, that. So now it's actually getting angry. Now with that said, we now need to move, looks like I actually need to have the eyes a little bit more bigger, but that won't work. So we're gonna keep it like this. So now we have that. We now have actually, you know, the frames that I need for the for the eyes. So it's only what it is in total 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so now we need to make sure that we have that equally divided. So this is going to be the last one. So we're going to be cutting this image. We're going to move it to here, paste it, and we're going to copy it once, paste it there, twice, paste it there, paste it there. All right, so now we have that one. I'm going to copy it and paste it there. Oh, wait. Ah, right. This one I need. Copy this one and then paste it there, paste it there, paste it there, and paste it there. And copy this, paste it there, paste it there. Boop, boop, bap, bap, bap. No. Paste it there and paste it there. And then copy that one. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Copy this one. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Yes. All right. That means I need to now figure out like where that. paste, 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 and then of course this one needs to be copied. Paste and paste. There we go. Well, it's not pretty, I must admit, but it's getting where I want to be. Let's erase the things that I don't need from this all. Let's first get the animation up and running so we actually can get where I want to be with this anyway. So I can actually get this fully animated a little bit more. Of course, it's not going to be looking good or anything else, but it's a good try. You know, that's the best part of it. It's figuring things out of like how can you make a GIF. And then we're going to move on to the next bit, which is of course loading it up. Because we're going to be using a lot of lines. That's for sure. We're going to be using a lot of lines, which is going to be the major issue because we then need to color it all up, which, geez, that's going to be asking a lot. So, because technically we have 30 frames, and then those 30 frames need to be done 30 times. So 30 times the coloring, 30 times the detail. Let's just fix that. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Come on. Don't be such a stupid ass donkey. And most of the issues are that this thing is not going down, which we can actually fix. All right. And this is the best part about it. You know, you just work on it, get to where you want to be with this. Oh wow, that thing doesn't even have the neck. That is terrible. All right. That's a poor attempt. Sometimes I should not rush this, but then again, I actually wanted to see if I can actually do this. That's the whole point of it all. So let's see if we can actually get to where I want to be with this all. It's a casual way of doing things. And if I can actually do this way, I can actually also make the animation, or I can actually also animate the attack patterns of the things that I want to do with it. So that's good. And then, you know, I know that there is an option for a GIF, which is good. Of course, you know, I'm not using the best tools for this. I'm not using the greatest tools for this, but at least, you know, I'm doing what I think would be a smart move. So I got that running for me. And And I need to redraw the entire fucking background as well. Man, it's gonna be a pain to do. So let's first focus on getting just a little bit. Oh, yes, 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 yes. All right. Now let's see if this works. All right. So now we have done that. We now actually have that. As you can see, it is actually animated. So the eyes are squinching, which is good. So it is actually, a very rudimental idea of it. Now let's see if we can get that. So let's go for, the... Oh, fuck. I'm not supposed to be putting this on these layers. I'm not supposed to be putting this on this layer. No. I need to put it on a different layer. God damn it. I always forget how these things work. Okay, I need to get these ones a new empty screen. That's for sure. So now I'm working on this layer. Right? Alright, so that does work, but that doesn't make talking good. Because that means that talking is now not very nice and responsive. But it does do what I want it to be doing. So this needs to be separated. Copy. Paste. 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 And close. Bashuwaya, 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 Bashuwaya. All right, then it does do its job. It does do its job. So let's keep it that way. So now we have that. We now actually have what we need. Now it's gonna be difficult because I need to add a new layer to this. So pin existing layer to the background. No, I need a new layer for this. So we're going to add a new layer to this. This layer is going to be below the first layer. So this layer is going to be below the second layer, and that is going to be then also a layer where I can work on. So now it's also a layer where I can work on. So now let's see if I can get the coloring up and running. So let's see if I can get, you know, coloring just the basic bits of coloring done. So I want all of this to be colored up because, well, you know, we clearly want to color things up, and we clearly want to have the drawing colored up so that we actually can see. So let's see if actually with colors if it actually works, because now I have this, which is the first bit, and then now we're going to be going for the second bit, which is then copy, select this one and then copy it. Oh, yeah, I see. So that's how that works. How much time do we have? All right, 40 minutes. So we clearly need to have this to be all the time active, because we don't need this one. We don't need this one. Well, we need this one, but we don't want this to be very aggressive. Well, we do need to have this aggressive. Damn it. Right, so we need to go here. Every time I need to make sure that I have this onto the layers, right? Yeah. So then I don't want to have the onion layers of these ones active. Yes. All right, so when I start coloring things, I need to make sure that I don't have the layers on, the onion layers on, because then I can just casually copy this and just start up anew. So now we have this again, and now we can actually do it again. So with this set, I can actually do what I want to do with this. The only downside is that I need to make sure that once I have the movement of it all, so I can actually make the talking work. I can make the talking work, I can make the eyes work, go that way. So we're almost halfway through this entire thing. So let's put this into a, let's save this for now, and say that this is gonna be a create program which is gonna be Rufina angry dog. So there we go. And then we're going to be saving it. So now we actually have a way of talking. It ain't gonna be looking nice, trust me. Never would be that nice. But yes, we're gonna be making sure that we don't have the layers. We don't need the layers for the coloring sections because that means that things get very confusing if I do. So with this, I can actually just casually color things up and then move onwards. The only downside is I need to make sure that I have the line work. The line work is going to be the major thing that needs to be animated and properly done. So that's going to be fun. So right now that, and then of course next one. So because the face ain't gonna be turning that much, it's good. It's quite easy to do, but when I'm starting with coloring the eyes, sockets and all that stuff, yeah, I definitely need to make sure that I do it correctly. So with that, yes, these things need to be definitely not talking. Wait, did I fix that? No, I did not. All right. Then I need to go now to the next one, which is this one. All right. Boop. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting towards where I want to be with this thing. So I can actually now know how to do these animations, even though they are quite hard to do. Not gonna lie, this is quite a skill increase upon what I do normally. But it is still expression, so you know, it's fun to do. It's fun to get these kind of little bit of a thing going on for it. And I just wanted to see if I can get fully animated. Well, fully animated, I mean just a GIF version of it all. Just to get things done and I can actually do things the way I think it would be happening. So with that, I actually have this. And that way I can actually get I think right now we're actually having all the stuff that I need, right? Yeah. Because now I don't have any textures that are overlapping, right? No, I don't. Ah, here's a bit that is missing. Let's fix that up. Now we're gonna go back. Oh wait, I need to do this on this layer. Why is it always that that thing misses? All right. Let's go back to coloring things up because I noticed there is a missing here. Then we're gonna be making sure that we have this one again. So boop, 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 and boop, and boop. All right, now let's see if this works. And now if we're gonna go for 50% faster. Yeah, bring it on. Bring It On can actually be set here. That is quite cool. Alright, so now I actually have, you know, a working piece-ish. Now I need to get the shading up and running, so let's do that part. Because we clearly want to do that. Let's do that also on here as well. I could technically do this into a different layer, but I won't. Oh, you don't see that anymore. Alright, cool. Because now we actually have this. Yeah, so I can actually get the shading as well up and running, but I think I would be rather doing that on a different layer, right? Yeah, because if I want to do the shading on the same layer, it wouldn't actually work properly. So I need to go for the flat colors and then do the shading on the sideline. Yep. Noted. And then I merge them. And then I will be very smooth about it. All right. Let's keep it like this first. All right. I will leave it here for now. And thanks for watching. And I hope this is actually quite interesting to see. But yeah. I hope you all have enjoyed for now. And thanks all for watching. And I will see you next time. Until then, I want to wish you a lovely day. And bye.